In The President's Cake, in early 1990s Iraq, it's Draw Day, when schools select students for the honor of bringing items to their mandatory local celebrations of President Saddam Hussein's birthday. 9-year-old Lamia, played by Baneen Ahmad Nayyef, lives in the historic marshes with her spirited grandmother Bibi. Before school, Bibi teaches Lamia clever tricks to avoid being chosen for the president's cake. However, when her strict teacher calls Lamia's name for the most challenging task, the birthday cake, she has no choice but to accept. Refusing could mean imprisonment or even death. In 1990, Iraq faced strict UN-backed sanctions, leading to extreme poverty, food shortages, and limited access to medicine. Despite this, Saddam Hussein required all Iraqis to celebrate his birthday. The President's Cake is directed by Hasan Hadi, and this film is his feature directorial debut, and The President's Cake just debuted at the Cannes Film Festival in the Directors Fortnight sidebar. The President's Cake is a gem of a film. It really transports you back to this period of time in Iraq, and this is a side of Iraq that I've never seen before in film. When you think of the first war that America had with Iraq, you think of deserts and like stone houses and the war, but in this film we see because Lamia and her grandmother Bibi, they live in the marshlands, and they live in this straw hut along the river. And Lamia, when she goes to school, she has to get inside a canoe, and she has to canoe herself to school and then canoe herself back home. And she lives in this like small straw hut with her grandmother. I think her parents have already passed away. And Lamia, she has to travel to the city with her grandmother Bibi when Lamia is chosen to make the president's cake for Saddam Hussein's birthday. So Bibi decides to take Lamia with her to the city so they can get all the ingredients for this birthday cake. But actually this is not Bibi's intention. Bibi is getting a bit old. Maybe she's in her late 70s, early 80s, and she's finding it difficult to keep up with Lamia, her granddaughter. So she takes Lamia to the city, and she has a family friend, and she wants to leave Lamia with this family friend to look after her and bring her up. And Lamia is very upset by this news. So about half an hour through the film, Lamia and Bibi are split up. Lamia runs away in the city, and Bibi has to spend the rest of the film looking for her. Lamia has a friend called Saeed, played by Sajad Mohamad Qasem, who's in her class at school, and they both join forces to try and find all of the ingredients for this birthday cake. Both kids, they're very resourceful, that they catch buses and trains by jumping on the back of it, because they don't have any money, they don't have any tickets, so they have to find different ways to get all of these ingredients. And they actually manage to get some money eventually. Like they sell, they steal stuff, and they sell watches, and Lamia has this pet rooster that she brought with her to the city, and she carries it in her hand. This is the most well-behaved rooster you've ever seen. It just sits in her arm, and even when you put it down, it just sits there. It doesn't run away or anything. So it's the most well-behaved pet I've seen in the film. So Lamia and her friend Saeed get into all sorts of trouble trying to get all these ingredients like the sugar and flour, and eventually they get enough money to actually buy a cake. But then when they go into the shop, the shopkeepers scam the kids out of the money. And also there's like a parallel story of Bibi, her grandmother, searching through like police stations and hospitals trying to find Lamia after she runs away. So this film is not just a story of Lamia, but Lamia is also kind of like a vessel for us as a viewer at this period of time in Iraq. Especially, as I said before, this is a period of Iraq that I've never seen in film before, and so we get to see the marshlands, we get to see the river, we get to see the city in Iraq, and I think this is Iraq is at fighting America at the time, but people still have to live their lives. People are still going to work. People are still living their lives. So it's a very interesting perspective on this time in Iraq. Like there's posters of Saddam Hussein everywhere, basically in every shot in the movie. So in every building there's a photo or portrait of Saddam, and when you go outside there's like paintings of Saddam on the walls of every building. And I think most of the population are pretty much brainwashed to support the president. And we see in school, part of the curriculum is the kids have to recite that Americans are bad and Saddam Hussein is the president, he's our savior. So they're pretty much indoctrinated as they go through school to obey Saddam Hussein, and I guess that's why once they grow up, everybody is in support of the president. I did enjoy this film. It's quite amusing and entertaining and heartfelt. There is one scene I in particular, I just interested if other people agree with me or not. It left me a little bit uncomfortable. Is when Lamia and Saeed go into this shop to buy some sugar, and then there's this young pregnant Iraqi woman. She's maybe heavily pregnant, maybe at least 8 or 9 months pregnant, and she's trying to buy from some goods from the shopkeeper, but she doesn't have enough money. And the shopkeeper says, "Oh, if you have sex with me, come out the back and have sex with me. I'll give you some sugar." And then eventually she's like, "I don't want to do that." But then eventually she agrees, and then she goes at the back. I assume she's married, but she goes at the back, and the shopkeeper gets Saeed and Lamia to stand at the front and make sure nobody comes in, and then while he's having sex with the young Iraqi woman at the back, she goes into labor. And then this scene is treated as comic relief, but this shopkeeper is using his power over her, sort of a rape, I guess. But the film treats this scene as comic relief. So I'm just interested, maybe I just wasn't on the wave of that scene, because that's the only scene for me that I felt uncomfortable in the film. So I was just curious to know if it's just me that found this scene quite strange and uncomfortable compared to the rest of the film. I have to mention the two lead performances, the two kids, Lamia and Saeed, played by Baneen Ahmad Nayyef and Sajad Mohamad Qasem. They're very natural performances, especially Lamia. She gives a very, she just feels like, I don't know how old she is, maybe 9 or 10, gives such a natural, authentic performance. You really feel for her. She's almost in every scene of the movie, and she's just fantastic. One of the best child performances I've seen in a long time. So you definitely are with her on a journey, because she has many moments to full range of emotions in this film, and she was just fantastic. I give The President's Cake 4 stars out of 5. I definitely recommend checking out this film, The President's Cake. It's a very entertaining. You get such a nice view of Iraq in 1990 and how the country was still going on despite the war, and it has beautiful lead performance by two child actors, Baneen Ahmad Nayyef and Sajad Mohamad Qasem, the beautiful natural child performances. So I definitely recommend checking out this film. It's very entertaining. What did you think of The President's Cake? Please comment below what you thought of the film. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.